I'm Nick with the Cadillac Kings, Queen City, North Carolina, and I'm the president. It's been 2 years ago that I started it with Dustin Grizzly. I couldn't always afford them, but I've always liked them. We went to the mini truck show this past year up in Maggie Valley, and actually my flat top, the one that's sitting here in the garage, it broke down that morning when we were supposed to be pulling all the cars into the show, coming out of the parking lot, and it was pouring down rain, dude. I mean, pouring down rain. And everybody in the club was just like out there getting soaking wet, getting the car cranked. And it ended up pretty cool because we got the car over there. It didn't have far to go down the road. Got it in there, parked it. Come to find out the alternator, something was bad on it, or whatever. I had to get it fixed. But it sat in there all weekend. And it ended up in a magazine with those pictures. And nobody never knew that the car was broke down. Yeah. Yeah, we put the miles on them down here, man. We drive. I mean, of course, everybody wants a 59 uh, El Dorado convertible. Um, but I would probably say a 50s convertible, somewhere in the 50s convertible. Uh, Probably not a good one. We got T-boned by a Cadillac when I was like 6 years old. I got older, you know what I mean? But like, that was the first memory of a Cadillac. We got T-boned when I was 6. But nah, probably back in the car club scene when I was 17, 18, seeing other people in Cadillacs, like I say, because when I was growing up, it really wasn't something that I could get into. I was driving like a big body Buick. It cost like, $800 or something. But just at the car shows, seeing them all, switches, 13s, wire wheels, stuff like that. No, I'd probably black market gas. I mean, like the motor behind me right here on the stand. I just built this motor right here, and there's
Okay.
another motor beside me here. It's a Cadillac 500. I built it for a '54 coupe I got outside. I mean, there's no way I would. I mean, unless I couldn't drive it, but you know how that works. You kind of make it look like battery when you pop the hood, but it's
Yeah.
really on gas. And we were kind of social distancing um, for a good part of that year, just staying connected through social media, through all the chapters really. Just staying connected with social media and things like that. I don't live far from Dustin, but we didn't go around each other much during the deal, because I got 3 kids, he's got 2 kids. Everybody in our chapter's got like 2, 3, 4 kids, and it was really a social distancing moment as far as being around each other. But as far as staying connected more through social media, and like all the car shows were canceled. Um, it's pretty rough during that year. We don't talk any politics at all. Um, it's really our chapter is really family oriented. Like we always have our kids at the car club meets. We go over to each other's house. I have a pool. Dustin has a pool. Um, you know, we do a lot of family friendly activities. Um, Very rarely do we do anything without our families. You know what I mean? Like, but that's just how we roll, pretty much. That was one of the things when me and Dustin set it up was everything we do, the kids should be able to be there beside us. So there's nothing, nothing. I don't want to say bad going on, but you know how car clubs can get. I mean, that was the number one thing for me. I kind of see. I kind of how do you say that? I kind of interact with people that have kids themselves and that their kids work in the garage with them. Because my girls do that. I have all girls, and they come up here. They help me work on cars. My wife does as well. She's actually helping me build the '54, and I just like seeing. people like Skylar, his wife and kids are out in the garage with him. Chad, Solus, just the whole deal of kids are everywhere in all the different chapters is just awesome to me. Kind of like you're saying, just pulling from everywhere. And the one light thing that we have is Cadillacs, obviously in common, and nothing looked at beyond race or gender or anything like that. As far as what our chapter's doing, and the chapters that I follow closely, I feel like we're doing good. As far as capping growth, I mean, I don't know, why they would do that, but you know, uh, yeah, I don't know why they would do that. Because I'm always talking to people. Like today, I was talking to a guy in New Zealand, and he was on the Bad Cadillac page, and he sends me a screenshot literally when I'm on the way back up here to do the Zoom meeting, and it's one of the plaques, because I host, make all the Cadillac Kings plaques for the car club, and he sends me a screenshot of it, and he's like, "Bro, these are awesome," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I was going to talk to you later about the club, because, like I say, he's in New Zealand. There's not a chapter there, and there's like four guys over there that have Cadillacs, and I mean, there's a couple of guys I know in Alabama right now. um, Man, I say let's, one chapter at least in every state. So, of course, too, like you're saying, when you get so large, too many voices that want to run things can then become hectic. It's like this. For my opinion, you got on board because you liked what they were doing. So if you don't like what they're doing, jump ship. If you see what I'm saying. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you had to apply, you had to go through all this talking and all this, a couple years of trying to get on as a Cadillac King. Now you got it. I mean, don't try to jump to the top and put your voice there and try to change a bunch of stuff. When our year was up to get plaques, they made a run of plaques, and it was 25 plaques. And you know we're a large club down here. I mean, just to have been started, we got a good bit of people, and there was three of us that were able to get plaques. So, I told Tim, I said, "Hey, man, I want four of them plaques, because if you see me, like, I got two plaques in every car before I ever made them." It's just kind of how I roll. But so he said, "Yeah, I'll ship you four out." Well, that was four out of the 25, and I mean, for 6 or 8 months after those were gone, they were not being able to make anymore, and people were on the page, saying, "Hey, man, we need some plaques." And I messaged him, and I said, "Hey, man, I can take care of them plaques for you, because I have plasma tables and all my stuff and everything." And he said, "Nah, we're good. We're gonna make another run soon." So I said, "Well, let me go ahead and prepay you for four more." and and then I started contacting the other guy that was making the one piece molded plaques, and I told him, I need four of those too. And I'm still trying to get a hold of those molds, and maybe because they're still not being made. And I messaged him again, and I think he had some stuff going on, like maybe moving and in his house, buying a house, stuff like that. And he was like, "Man, you just became my lifesaver if you can make these plaques." And this was like a year after I had just been messaging and messaging about making them. And he said, "I tell you what, man, just go ahead and make one. Let's see what you can do." And I was like, "All right, well, send me the file." And he was like, "Well, there is no file." So yeah, so I worked on that plaque for probably 3 or 4 weeks to get the file, the CAD file, and the cut files right and everything. And then I made a few, sent them out there for them to look at, and they were like, "Man, you're golden." So just been pushing them from there. I kind of never give up on anything. You know what I mean? I got dreams and inspirations on building cars, and selling one-off car parts that I make and things like that. So I just felt like I could tackle it and succeed. And there was another two-piece plaque that they made way a long time ago, and I actually ordered one of those plaques before there was a company that was making them, and they weren't supposed to be making them or something. And I messaged in and said, "Hey, you guys, they're selling these plaques." I said, "Can I order one?" so I can get that plaque as well. And I can offer two different plaques. And they were like, sure, it's an approved plaque. Sure enough, bro, I ordered that thing. And the next week, they sent an email out telling everybody, don't order those plaques from that company any longer. So I'm still waiting. And the thing about ordering them from them, it's been 3 months since I ordered that plaque, and I still don't have it. So, I take a 3/16 plate still. Um, I have a CAD file with a Pro Boss table, and I program everything in, and I can cut 10 out at one time. And then I have to clean up the edges, and which the other company that was making them, I forget, I think it was maybe Bill Brennan, one of the guys out of Cali. When he got my plaques, he was like, dude, these things are awesome. He says, they're cleaned up, they're ready to powder coat, like they're smooth, no rough edges. But after that, then I take and put them in the drill press, and I have to drill them because they have a bolt that goes in them, and you have to bolt them together. So I drill them out with a drill press, and then I clench these self clenching studs in them on the front piece, and then that's what the back piece connects to. I think that's why they quit using them before, because they would order, 25 plaques ain't cheap, and you give somebody that much money up front. And like, I message these people, honestly, I message them every week, because at this point I'm like, it's 3 months. What's taking y'all so long? And every week it's a different, oh, it's over here, oh, it's over there. We're waiting for it to get back over here. So it's just a typical runaround of that business end.
The
It's
cost.
125 for a plaque, which is the same price that they were selling them for 2 years ago, which is kind of amazing that I kept it at 125, considering the price of everything's went up 100%. The club, if they say they're going to do something, like the chapters that I interact with, when we say something to each other, that's what we do. And that's the same thing we do when we're not around them or we are around them. Now, I haven't met a lot of the club members face to face out on the other side, which we're supposed to be coming down September the 11th, flying in. So, starting to do more. Well, we want to do like a barbecue on the East Coast. And, for any chapters that can't come, to say Vegas, or us East Coast chapters, like maybe have a picnic or something like that. We've been talking about that over on this side. Um, and we're anniversary parties, things like that. I mean, just ramping up for some stuff that, instead of us actually going to other people's events, starting to hold our own events. That was the last meeting we had when we talked about it. Nah, nah. I mean, if it was I got too many cars to try to put them inside. But I mean, I think Dustin, he parks his inside. Um, but most people don't park their cars inside around here.
Okay.
The weather's not that bad, I wouldn't say. I mean, not to me, it's not.